Welcome to Comics League. I am Jared, and first off, Dawson is finally back on the show. What's up, man?
How's it going? I'm back on a podcast for the first time in over a year, so it's cool to be here, man. Good to see you.
You've been working hard, and I'm here with Nix and Lug. What's up, people?
Oh, I think it's the same for me too, somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah, exactly. And Nix, you've been on this channel a lot, so it's all good. Everyone knows Nix, but
what? So you two know each other?
I know, right?
Wild.
I know.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just said it's a small world.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're doing a couple of things. So not only is it Wonder Woman Day, but there's the other reason why I picked this date for the little project that Dawson and I have been working on. So as you guys know, I've been working on a comic book for I think about a year and a half, seriously working on it with you, Dawson, and Dawson's been drawing it. So yeah, we will be launching that today. My first Kickstarter campaign. A little nervous, but I think we got this covered. I think we got this covered. Nix and I are very accustomed to being on launch streams for comic books, aren't we, Nix?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I guarantee you that this will be a more pleasurable experience. But so Dawson, before we launch this, I want to ask you, since you're the drawer, what was some of the challenges that you faced with the character designs or the scenes that I forced you to draw?
Yeah, at gunpoint, might I say?
Yeah, exactly.
It was really fun, and one thing that I give you a ton of credit for is the amount of freedom that you gave me with both the design, layout, composition of this book. I mean, obviously you had certain ideas that you wanted to have in the book and certain design elements that you really liked, but you did give me a lot of room to kind of express what I really like in superhero art and superhero design. And I just really had a lot of fun with it. And it's great because you reached a great balance. Some people, when they commission artwork, they'll just give you 100% freedom. And so you really have no place really to start. So you kind of have to experiment a lot. And as an artist, you're kind of left thinking I'd like a little bit of guidance, please. But then there's some people who are over the top. I want this specific thing. I want this arm to be 45 degrees. And I want this. And it's okay, you hit a good balance.
In detail?
There's some people. I mean, yeah, it can get a little intensive, but you had that good balance where this is the scene that I want. Play around with it a little bit, make it your own. And it just made it a very enjoyable experience with the creative process.
Yeah, because the way I approach it is you're the co-creator of this book, and it's well, let me put it this way: I could have written this as a novel, obviously, but I wanted to make it as a comic book, and obviously art, in my mind at least, because there is that age-old debate of what's more important, the words or the art. With me, they're equally as important, because if a book is crappily written, chances are you're not going to pick it up. Conversely, if the art's no good, why are you going to pick up a visual medium? So I got to keep the artist happy.
Well, I love that mentality. That was very, very much appreciated.
Yeah. So one of the things that anyone that reads the book will probably see is that I have some similarities to DC, but it's one of them is in some of the character designs and their roles. What I wanted to do here. So here are 3 of the character designs we did, and so what I wanted to do is, this was also kind of tough for me to figure out how I want these to look, because it's and Dawson, to your credit, you did great with this, is how do we make it so you know what I'm referencing, but it doesn't look like a ripoff? It's with Hermes here, who's basically my speedster. I was I want you to know he's basically my Flash, but him not to look like that. And that's why we gave him the blue and red the design, because that's traditionally what's given to a Superman character. So we were let's kind of flip the script. Plus, having him as a blue blur actually looks pretty good in the art. So there you go with that.
Yeah, and just looking at these designs, I mean, these were preliminary ideas. We kind of adjusted things as we went along with the book, especially with Athena, Lyra here. I'm looking at it, it's man, we definitely edited some things where it was more simple with, drawing it consistently in a book. But yeah, no, I loved this part of the process, just because, again, it was a lot of back and forth of, hey, what about this idea? What about this concept? Let's go with this. That was really, really fun part of it.
Yeah, and so one of the things to talk about me giving Dawson freedom. So when I told him Okay, so Athena has two designs. Her dress, which is in like the main cover, and her combat armor, because obviously I think you can guess which superhero she's based on. So I'm like, so I told them to do the combat armor. The part that I didn't expect or wasn't necessarily in the instructions, but you did, that went amazingly, is the fishnets on the arms, and I love the collar you gave her. That just that just brings everything together like that.
Yeah, and the collar, we kept it
actually
somewhat consistently in the book. We kind of made some slight changes because like the little spikes and everything.
Yeah, hang on.
But
I'll pull up the actual design on that, the newer design.
Yeah. But no, I loved doing that. And again, having the point of reference of this character is very much inspired by this one gives you a good starting point, and just kind of play around with what you would do with the character if you were given freedom to change a lot of things that, let's say if I were to work on a Wonder Woman book, I wouldn't be able to make those color changes, right? I wouldn't be able to make those drastic changes. But with this, since it's a new property, it's like, okay.
Here you go.
Yes, there we go.
So yes, there are two covers available, the main cover and like this dope variant cover, because we wanted to give you some more stuff. But yeah, so this is the other thing we wanted to do. We wanted to put like her like A logo on her cover. And the other thing that Dawson did that I really like is like, even on the trading cards that are part of the stretch goals, you put like Greek like paneling on this on the edges, because it's like, obviously I was inspired by Greek mythology. I mean, all these characters are named after characters of Greek mythology, and even the A. I really love how you basically factored in that aesthetic.
Yeah, I loved embracing that, and because again, like you said, a lot of the characters are named after Greek gods or Greek mythological people, and I just figured that design is just so iconic with Greek myth and Greek culture all together that I just had to include it. And then, of course, you have purple with Lyra's design. And real quick, though, too, with these covers, I want to give a huge shout out to industry icon Dan Kemp, who colored these. If you don't recognize the name, you should, because he colored most of the heyday of Spawn comics alongside Greg Capullo. And he also did a lot of work on stuff like Daredevil, Spider-Man, The Flash. Pretty much you think of any, mainstream character, he's worked on it to some capacity. And his willingness to, partner with me on doing these covers for this Kickstarter was just incredible, to say the least. So, and they turned out amazing.
Oh yeah, they look so. It's like one of my favorite things about color is like the way that it can make a book pop, and that's one of the things that I have like talked about Absolute Wonder Woman with. But if you look at the lightning bolt on this cover, it just glows.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dan, we've worked on several different projects together. No full books yet, not until the next one that I'm currently working on. But I'm with you, man. As far as colors is concerned, it really makes things pop. And every time that I've sent Dan something to color, some of my line work to color, and it comes back, I'm just wowed every single time. Even though we've worked on, I think, close to 12 or up to 15 projects together now, it still I guess not surprised me. That's not the right word, but it still blows me away every time he works and stuff with me. It's just incredible.
And so let me tell you guys a story. So the first cover was a little simpler when we first did it. So Dawson texts me and he goes, "You know what? I want to tweak it a little bit." And I go, "Okay." He gives me this because where it's like, instead of like, because the way we normally had it is like there's planets like behind him and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, I want to keep that aesthetic, but instead he put like papyrus in the back again, referencing Greek mythology, and then a freaking galaxy in his like cloak, and I'm like, yeah, that's dope. I love that.
And you mentioned the original design for it. I actually have the original inked cover right here.
Oh, so, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up doing some alterations with the inks digitally when it came time to sending them to Dan Kemp, because there's some things about Xerxes' face that I wanted to adjust, and with Lyra as well. But overall, like you said, the main idea stayed the same. But I just told Dan, like, hey, inside this shadow area of Xerxes, just do a galaxy, do planets, right? And I gave him some points of reference, and he just ran away with it. I mean, again, I can't say enough about Dan Kemp and how
it just looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
It just looks so freaking good. So Next and Lug, thoughts?
Yeah, that was definitely the right call, condensing its elements there like that. And at the same time, somehow adding more. It's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And plus, it stands out against like other covers that like that like are out there because it's like it's a galaxy in there, so it's like, oh geez. Sorry. Next thoughts?
Absolute chef's kiss. I have no notes.
Thank
Perfection.
you.
Pure perfection.
He
Appreciate
practically
that.
has the galaxy in the palm of his hand.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Yeah, exactly. But
right,
so we also have another creative here that did some work on this project. We have Lug who did the trailer. So I'm gonna play it, and then Lug, you can talk about making it. So, and by this will be next is first time watching it, so that'll be fun.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1, trailer.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sintragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
So there was that. Great job, man.
Chills.
That just looks so cool, dude. Wow.
I love that lightning, the logo period.
Yeah,
That was well
yeah. I was like, if she, when I told him to do that, I was like, okay, wait. She's the goddess of thunder. I can't not have a lightning motif somewhere in here.
Right.
Lug just started cooking, and he did not stop until he had a 5-star meal in front of us.
Light who walks into the trailer and goes, "Let's cook."
Yes. Haven't made one in a while, but I've been kept busy elsewhere, so I was like, "Oh, I'm coming back."
He's like that meme of the guy like on the keyboard, just like typing away and just like sweating, and he's just
Lug is John Wick going, "Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back." But dude,
Wow.
you got because the part that I really wanted to emphasize with this is mythology, and I wanted to make this feel like an epic story. I didn't even have to tell Lug that he's got that theme 100% like down pat. Well done, man.
He got all the ingredients. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna.
He's cooking. Yeah, exactly.
He communicated well, so I was able to get all the chess pieces into place.
Yeah. So, what were some of the like challenges that like you had putting the trailer together?
Let's see. First, I just needed to like make absolutely certain I had it everything in order. It was like it wanted to make sure I know exactly where each of these panels are that were requested. Make sure I know I have the right word set up and all that. But what I wanted to make sure of was that I don't put the cart before the horse. I wanted to make sure before I do anything. The obvious thing is read the entire comic book from start to finish, so I understand the material. Then I will be more prepared to adapt it, because like I got these instructions, sure, but I need the full context before I begin. Because like I was given like a script here that shows like what panel you wanted for to accompany what line, and so I made sure to follow all of that. But then because I had already read it first instead of just jumping straight in, I understood enough of the material to know, oh, I should probably also show this panel and this panel and this panel to really smooth the flow as it goes along. Because I don't know, you probably expected the visual pacing of the trailer to be a little slower, maybe. So I just kind of ramped up and just showed a lot and just used all these different transition effects to just give as much motion as possible.
It was great. So let me put you on the spot. If you read it, what do you think without spoiling it?
I was kind of thrown for a loop multiple times. Kind of chucked me and like ready to surprise me to see, okay, what is this? Because like at first, my initial assumption was seeing the title, the logo, like, oh, okay, so this is going to be some kind of Greek mythology comic book with an action twist focused on Athena. So then I look at the first page, I'm like, what the heck? So, that's not what I expected. Oh,
you
okay,
could say that was my intention.
I was like, okay, so this is going to be like Greek mythology.
You open it up and it's the battle over Coruscant in Star Wars Episode 3.
Yeah, I know. By the way, that was the direction I gave Dawson. Just do the battle of Coruscant.
So I just look at the first panel. I'm like, okay, so it's Greek mythology by way of Treasure Planet. Okay.
That's actually a good way to summarize it. Wow.
I like that.
So then I get a few more pages in, and suddenly, oh, there's Earth. Okay, so it's actually a reverse isekai story. Okay.
Kind of.
So then she gets to Earth, and then suddenly a bunch of superheroes show up. What? So much just happened. That was
yeah.
I just this total throw me for a loop shift over and over and over again. It did not have a dull moment. There was no time to stop. There was so much momentum. Not a single panel wasted.
I appreciate that because here's the thing. That was like my concern with my first it was my first comic script. And the thing about it, so I was more of like, I've always been more of like a prose writer. So the problem that I had, because when you're writing a comic script, you need to like succinctly say something as short as possible in order to like get your idea across, particularly in dialogue. Because I had longer dialogue in there. So I was like, I can't have like, I'm not Brian Michael Bendis. I can't have like text bubbles everywhere. So it's like, how do I succinctly say it? So it still says it with the proper like to the same effect. And how do I pace this so it doesn't feel like a slog, but also doesn't feel like I'm rushing? Because I'm trying to introduce a lot of elements that will play a part over the course of the series. So I'm like, am I doing this right?
Oh, this feels very familiar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's like the other thing is like, I want to make sure that like you get what I'm referencing and you get what like. So basically the way the book is, it's for anyone that just loves comics, that loves superheroes, that loves comics, that likes, I'm sure you could have guessed, that likes Wonder Woman. I mean, that's kind of who the character is a tribute to. So that was kind of like, that was like the hardest part is like, how do I do this with God damn it, Rabbit.
No!
Nick, that's your job.
Jinxed it. You are now under his hypnotic spell.
But it's like
forget.
But it's like the other thing I did is previous to this, I read a lot of like Wonder Woman comics just so I can see, okay, so what are like some elements do I want to include, but how is it structured? Because luckily for me, I have a lot of trades that in the back, they have like comic scripts, like examples. And then, because here's the problem with writing a comic script. There is no straight up format that like everyone really goes by. It's really dependent. Luckily, I know Dawson pretty well. We know we like the same stuff. So I'm like, I don't have to necessarily spend so long describing stuff. It's like, okay, this location is like this in Man of Steel. Go. it was pretty much that. So I'm like, he knows what I want to do. And I don't think I ever had to really do something where I'm like, nah, redo it. It was like, everything was like 100% like, that's exactly what I want.
And that's always very gratifying as an artist when you're not told to redo things all the time. Because I've had that with commissions, and it's like, like people want what they want, and they pay for what they want. So that's all well and good. But sometimes it's like, okay, that stinks. They didn't like what I just did. Cool, back to the drawing board. But
hot take: Hot Pants Wonder Woman is the best one. That's a very hot take, Rabbit. But the other thing that I really wanted to make sure, again, it was the big, like, it was the big because in case you're wondering how much I've written 4 issues so far. They have to be edited, but it's like I know pretty much where the story is going over the course of actually 12 issues, but I have 12 issues planned. Obviously, hopefully all drawn by Dawson because he completely kicked ass with this. So it's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go with you again. But it's like,
yes, let's go.
But it's like the other thing, it's like you didn't agree with me, Apox. Yeah, exactly. But with this, it's like, yeah, that's the other thing, because I've always said the reason why I love DC is because, and Dawson, you can back me up on this, it's like, of the 2 publishers, DC is the one that really weighs in on the Greek mythology like elements in it, even beyond Wonder Woman, and you factor in all the gods and stuff. So I was like, and obviously, Dawson, what's my favorite superhero movie?
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it starts with a Zack Snyder and ends with a Justice League. So yes. that's the other
little
thing
S in there.
A little S in there, yeah, exactly. But I wanted to go off of that because, like, again, Greek mythology and the gods, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah. And to give you guys a tease of what I have planned for the future of this world, let's just say metahumans have been involved in the affairs of man for centuries. I had this idea way before James Gunn did. He stole it from me. I want to be clear on that. I want to be clear on that. But yeah, and everything else. And then the way I have this structured is each volume is going to be a different type of story. The first one that we're in right now is going to be about identity, her becoming an actual superhero. 2 is a straight up war story. And 3 awesome. Is a straight up kings and queens like a type of story. So that's essentially what we're going for. And like, I have planned this out. I promise I'm not making this up as I go along. Some creators do that. That's not me. But
and when those creators do that, it's obvious.
Oh, it's very, very, very. You can definitely tell. Like Tom King. Anyway, Dawson, are you a fan of Tom King's comic writing?
I've liked some things. I don't mind his Batman run in Rebirth to an extent. Then again, he also worked with David Finch on that, so it's kind of hard to dislike it. Trying to think. There's some other stuff like his Rorschach book. Didn't care for it.
Have you read his Wonder Woman or heard of it?
I've heard some things about it, and I've read like 1 or 2 issues, but not enough of a sample size to really make a determination. I know your thoughts on it. I'm very well aware of how you feel.
I'm pretty sure the entire freaking internet knows how I feel about that. Oh my God.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah, exactly. But well, on the bright side, that encouraged me to read previous Wonder Woman runs. So I've become more of a Wonder Woman guy. But anyway, so what do you say we get this thing started?
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, and Gandalf says, "Happy Wonder Woman Day. Story sounds epic." So yeah, so what'll happen? I'll launch it. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the tweet out, and y'all can back it if you can, or share it if you can.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to launch.
You need a drum roll.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and. Do I have my soundboard? Do I have a soundboard? We are live!
Let's go.
All right, so let's do this. All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. You may now go back, Athena, the goddess of thunder. So I will drop that link in the chat, and it'll also be in the description below. So there you go. And again, Dawson, thank you so much for drawing this, because that's the only thing I had the story. I didn't have anyone to draw, and I really appreciate you hopping on, brother.
Oh, of course. Like, the chance to work on a comic and, get work in the process. I mean, it's a great opportunity. And plus, you created an awesome world, created great characters, and obviously you and I get along and understand each other. So it worked out really well.
Heck yeah. And I really am excited for everyone to check out the book and tell me what they think. It's been it's very surreal to finally be at this point where I could say you guys will soon be able to read the comic and enjoy it. So let me do this. So I'm just blasting out the tweet, and then we can go over what tiers are available, because Dawson and I have a few surprises lined up for some fun stuff that we can do.
It's very, very exciting.
Yeah. So one of them was Dawson's idea, and when he pitched this to me, I was like, "Oh yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that. We got to do that." So let me just move. This is one other. Okay, here we go. Here and here and here. All right. So let's go over tiers. So I arranged this in a few different ways. So we have here. So we have the main cover as a digital. I gave you guys the options. So obviously we have a digital option, but if you wanted a digital, the other cover, I gave it the option to because we can slap the other cover on a PDF file and send that to you. I figured that would work.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somehow you collect PDFs, you can have both covers of the digital copy for fun. And then obviously we have the main cover, which honestly I can't pick which cover I like the most because they're all just so good.
I know Dan Kemp just ruled on both of them, so it's like,
which one do I like? And then I have and then we should have the other one. I may have to go back and re-add that, but the point is there will be another cover of that. So Dawson had this idea. So for our big time collectors like tier, so you get everything in the campaign, all the covers, all the PDFs and everything. But Dawson, what else do they get?
So it says here, of course, in this one, there's only 24 slots of this tier available, and each of those 24 will receive, along with the book, I'm seeing here, you will receive an original page of pencil work from me for this book, which I thought was really cool because I've seen some other creators, do some things similar to that, not quite exactly like this. And I know there are a lot of people that really just like to see the actual physical pencils and inks and collect them. And it was a lot of fun doing it traditional way because I work a lot digitally, but I also do traditional. And so doing the pencils traditionally on, full on comic board was really fun. And so I figured, why not share the spoils?
And that's terrific because a lot of people do like collect stuff, and it's cool seeing this is what it looked like in the very beginning. So it's like you go from that to this, and it's like that's really cool. That's really cool. And so we have that now for stretch goals. So currently we have a simple stretch goal. Barry, so here's some of the pages. This is the other thing you absolutely murdered in this, and I mean that in the best way, because I put in the script lightning and then a mosaic of her past memories, and then I get that back, and I'm like, yep, that's it. That's it.
That one was probably the funnest page to put together. Well, maybe one of them. Obviously, there's a lot of fun those had, but that one, editing things in, like each individual little window of electricity, was just really, really cool and fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it's like, I'm a big fan of like really unique panel work, and I'm like, the minute I got that back, because that's the thing about getting the art back. Pretty much every time it was exactly as I had it in my head. I was like, when I was typing this out, I was like, this. And then when I get back the art back from Dawson, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's very much it. That's very much it. And then obviously we have the other superhero team members. So we have Atlas, Hephaestus, Achilles, who may or may not be the Achilles from Troy, Hermes, and and then the laces on another page. But here are the stretch goals. So what Dawson and I have done, remember in the 90s when Marvel had those trading cards that had arbitrary stats on them that they probably made up in the back? Well, we got that too.
Yeah. So, and here's the Greek sort of outline you were mentioning before with this fun pattern.
It really looks, and obviously the purple is good. So on the front, it'll be a portrait of the character. and then on the back it'll be like stats and a little bio of like each of the characters, and every main character of the book has a card,
which is just awesome.
Yeah, you completely killed with this. And here's the thing: these are not like we just took a panel from the book and put it on the card. No, this is all original stuff.
And I loved this one specifically. Yeah. That pose and the trail behind him. Oh, that was so much fun.
That just looks so good. Well, the other thing on that is like when we were designing Atlas, it's like the part that I really liked that you added was the little sash around his waist, because it's like it much like people say the trunks break up the like suit for like Superman, that kind of does that with this. Plus, again, it has that little Greek toga like idea.
Yes. I wanted something a little bit more unique, so it wasn't just tights all the way down.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and this is Teladia, the goddess of the sea. And what we want to do is, I may have made work harder on Dawson than I needed to say that the tattoo glows whenever she uses her powers, but it looks dope. So it's like, there you go.
Definitely drawn some inspiration from Avatar: The Last Airbender there for sure.
There you go. So, am I the only one who thinks that Avatar season 3 was kind of bad?
We're currently watching it. My wife and I, we're huge fans. Those are fighting words, Jared.
Have you watched season 3 yet?
We've watched it several times. This is our yearly rewatch. So
you know why I say that? Because they keep telling me that like they have to go fight the Fire Lord. They're under a time limit. They dilly dally for episodes and episodes. I'm like, move.
That's true. I think season 3 probably has a little more what you might consider filler episodes than the previous 2.
Yeah, which then results in the whole lion turtle thing.
True, which I think is a pretty cool scene, but it's just me.
but yeah, so that's the campaign. And again, if you guys can back it, please do. If you can't, at least share it. That's all we ask.
Yes.
But yeah, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it, because I put a lot of work into this project, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think. So, Lug and Nix, what do you guys think?
I think I'm trying to back it right now.
Oh, thank you. That is sweet. That is sweet.
I got a new card though, and I need to activate, and that just does not want to activate.
That's always annoying, isn't it? That's always annoying.
All right, fine. You back it, I'll front it. Group hug.
Phrasing, Lug, phrasing.
Oh my gosh.
That's so good. That's so good. But yeah, so there's another reason why I wanted to stream tonight. And as you guys know, I've kind of become quite the Wonder Woman streamer recently. I think you guys can all understand why. I mean, Dawson knows why. So because today, and there's a reason why I wanted to launch it today. It's because today is also the anniversary of when Wonder Woman became a DC Comics character, like when the character launched. So since she is heavily inspired by Wonder Woman, I figured, okay, I think that this would be the best from a marketing standpoint. Again, you got to think marketing to do this. So that's the other thing we're going to talk about is Wonder Woman. So Dawson, let me ask you first. What's like your experience with like Wonder Woman as a character?
Well, obviously we've talked about the movies.
Yeah.
As far as the comics, I've read a little bit, not as much as I would like to be able to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I have, what's the one I have? The Legend of Wonder Woman Volume 1.
The digital first book. I love that book. That's such a good book.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the names of who it's done by. It's a little up there on the top of my shelf.
Renee Day something, I think is her name. At least if it's the one I'm talking about.
Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going through that one right now. It's so good. And
yeah.
The art and coloring is so spectacular on that book, man.
Oh yeah, I mean it's more like your classic type of Wonder Woman story. That's obviously made more in the modern day, and I just really like the direction of that book. And
have you read Absolute Wonder Woman yet?
I have read the first 2 issues. I've had to slow
Bro.
down on single issue comic collecting and like prioritize,
Mhm.
but I loved what I saw from that. I love the
Bro.
design. I mean, you have the design a little bit to your right on the
Yeah.
stream here, and that's just beautiful.
It is the Wonder Woman book right now. Like,
Yes.
if you hear like Kelly Thompson talked about it, because the original idea was she was just going to be a warrior woman like Kratos, but
Ooh.
when she was going through it, she was like, I don't want to do this. Can I just make her like regular Diana in this universe? Okay. And I'm like, yes, because here's the thing, with the current crap run going on the main line, so many fans have gone, this is Wonder Woman now.
Yep. And I understand why. So there's that I've read. My favorite Wonder Woman thing that I've ever read.
And we have a backer.
Hey, there we go. Let's go.
Oh, it's
There
probably
we
me. Figured it all out finally.
Nice. I'm about to share it on my Facebook, but
In that case, hang on. Nix, this is for you. There you go.
you're welcome. You get very ripped, shirtless men.
Hell yeah. It's every girl's dream.
I'll go one step further. Shirtless men that kill each other.
I don't know if that
Even
goes one
better.
step
Even better.
further.
I thought you might be into it.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
But I guess to close out my Wonder Woman thoughts, my favorite Wonder Woman book I've ever read, besides Absolute Wonder Woman, has to be Wonder Woman Dead Earth from Daniel Warren Johnson.
Bro, that is so good.
It's such a good book. And again, as someone who hasn't read as many Wonder Woman books as I would like to, eventually at some point I'll get to, deep dive more into it like Jared has. But that book, the art is incredible. I mean, the storytelling is amazing. I mean, the fact that I've told several people this when I've told them about this book. She literally has a lasso of truth, justice, in the American way. And it's not a lasso, but a freaking spine and skull.
Oh yeah. Next, have you ever read this book?
No, but I'm getting more and more interested too.
Do you know what Wonder Woman does?
What
So
she do?
Superman is dead in this universe. I'm not going to spoil why he's dead. So what she does, because she needs a weapon, she Predator takes his skull and spine out of his body, threads the lasso of truth with it, and creates a Meso Truth.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
It's such a cool image. Like, she
It's-
literally shows up against a giant Hydra, and she's just whacking it with Superman's Kryptonian skull.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not?
Oh,
It's the perfect post-apocalyptic DC story, in my opinion.
no, it's not. I
Okay,
got
so-
one better, bro.
Okay,
so
wait,
this
so
one,
that means they're not interconnected? Because isn't there an absolute Superman?
This one, well, I'm not talking about Absolute
No,
Wonder
no.
Woman. This is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. This is
Yeah,
a different one.
Oh,
okay.
it's an Elseworlds, a Black Label book.
Yes.
So,
Black
that
Widow.
totally sounds like something that could have been in an absolute book.
probably. Have you seen Absolute Batman? He punted a baby.
That's how I first found out. Like, what the
Yeah,
heck is going
that
on?
was that's the
Cop
greatest
Batman?
Batman image ever.
That
But
seems like
so
Axe Cop, but Batman.
there's a book that I read years ago. It's called Gotham City Garage. So what this is, it's a post-apocalyptic story. All I have to do is say this. All of the women of the DC universe are in a biker gang.
That's pretty
Nice.
sweet.
Yeah, it's like, and tattoo store. It's like the idea is like Darkseid had invaded in the past, wrecked the earth, so everyone's in like these bubble like cities. But Supergirl escapes, and she starts to like look out the world because she hears the legend of a Amazonian warrior named Diana. So it's basically a Wonder Woman story, but it's like she's being hunted by Bruce Wayne, who's like a Batman is like an enforcer and stuff. So you got that. It's really good. And we got another backer. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
So so there's that. But Dawson, if you're gonna start with Wonder Woman at any point, anything with George Perez's name on it is what
Yes.
you generally want to go with for Wonder Woman. Like that's it.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I don't
Go ahead,
suppose you've
Dawson.
heard. I don't suppose you've heard my
Yeah.
little story, have you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I am not super familiar with the Wonder Woman mythos. Like mostly of like picked up by osmosis through stuff like Justice League Unlimited. But I know my mother was really into the Linda Carter show. So one Christmas I decided I want to get my mother some Wonder Woman graphic novels. But figure out, okay, but like what run should I get? So I decided to just start doing my research. I just started looking up multiple different lists of like must-read Wonder Woman comic book runs. I cross-referenced them with each other, looking for any that kept popping up in each of these lists. Okay, so then I started cross-referencing that information with like other comic book YouTubers I was checking out at the time, and ultimately I decided the one that seemed like the most viable option was the George Perez run of the 1980s. So I found a complete omnibus trilogy collection of the entire run and picked up that.
That's a good. Because here's the thing about the George Perez run. That was the first post-crisis Wonder Woman run. So you literally didn't have to read anything about Wonder Woman previously. That was where you start.
Oh yeah, I've been like, when I was researching it, I found like, oh okay, so he had wrapped up the DC universe with that Crisis Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then they were like, okay, you can have absolutely anything you want. Anything. Is like, I want Wonder Woman. And nobody was expecting that, apparently.
Yeah, because here's the thing about Wonder Woman. DC doesn't exactly treat her like the character she deserves to be treated, like to the point where where like a former editor at DC had told me that they consider her the training book for junior editors.
Oh yeah, like the world's finest definitely seems to have more care in it than the so-called Trinity. Like Wonder Woman has often been treated more as like some kind of mascot you'd find on a lunchbox than a character, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Next, how about you?
My history with Wonder Woman. God, where do I even begin? It's been so long. It's been so long, but
in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. I'm only kidding.
No, but my first time ever seeing Wonder Woman was in the animated Justice League. You know, back when that was still on air. And it kind of was like my whole big gateway to her. And then I kind of got more and more into comics as I grew up. And so far now, I think my absolute favorite version of Wonder Woman would be from the Golden Age, if only because I appreciate how sassy she is. I've said this multiple times. I love a good sass master.
I love a good sass master.
Yes.
So good.
The Saster Sister.
The Saster Sister. That's so good. That's so good. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, because sassy Wonder Woman is so good. Like there's this one scene in Absolute Wonder Woman where like the creature goes, "You dare?" And she goes, "I do." And I'm like, oh. There's this other great image from the new 52 where she's fighting Green Lantern. And she goes, "This gives me no pleasure, but I'm sure you've heard that one before."
That's straight fire.
Oh my God, that's so good. For me, it started with probably at first from a surface level was the Justice League show, but I remember seeing her in Batman versus Superman because it's like she shows up, and I remember thinking, because when Gal Gadot was cast as Wonder Woman, I was like, well, that's an interesting choice because it's like she was only, as far as I know, known for like the Fast and the Furious movies. And then it's like, I wasn't used to like Wonder Woman having an accent because, again, Susan Eisenberg was my last exposure to Wonder Woman.
Right.
The part that sold me was when she's talking to Ben Affleck and he goes, "I've known a few women like you." And she smiles, "I don't think you've ever known a woman like me." And I go, yeah, that's Wonder Woman right there. I love it. Or like when she's fighting Doomsday, she gets knocked back and just smiles like she's enjoying a battle. And I go, yeah, I kind of like this character. And then obviously the movie really solidified it. And then this was around the time that I was getting into comics for the first time with the trade. So I bought like the Charles Soule Superman Wonder Woman series. That's another great series, Dawson.
Yeah.
And so I got that, and then started really ringing the character because, again, as I said before, one of my passions is Greek mythology. So obviously, a character that like leans very heavily into that like idea really does help. So let's see. It wasn't until I started the Super Wonder show with Britt that it really became like a part of me, because it's like, when you think about it, Wonder Woman is the most important character that DC has. And I will always maintain that, because here's why. There's a reason why the Trinity have become like the leaders of the DC universe.
We got another backer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because when you think about it, the Trinity represent all of the like facets of being a superhero. Batman's justice, Superman's hope, Wonder Woman's truth. Now, you can't get true justice unless you're truthful, unless there's some type of truth. Also, you then cannot be like hopeful unless you're truthful to yourself. So everything revolves around truth. So if everything revolves around truth, everything really revolves around Wonder Woman when you think about it. It's just DC hasn't really treated her as such,
unfortunately.
Yeah, but they instead decide we're gonna let her villain take a bath with rats. Yes, that literally happens in a Wonder Woman comic by Tom King, Dawson.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I imagine Sam Paris probably like, you want me to draw what?
Well, that makes me think of like when I read All-Star Batman and Robin by Frank Miller and Jim Lee. And Jim Lee has to draw several panels where Dick Grayson is beating the crap out of Green Lantern in a yellow painted room because the color yellow weakens him and nearly beats him to death. And it's just like, what the hell is happening?
I remember that.
Yep. And that same book, Batman and Black Canary kind of hook up, and Batman's inner monologue is, keep the masks on. It's better this way.
You left out a very vital detail, Dawson. There's a couple of bodies burning to death right next to them.
That is true. That is true.
I'm like, well, then again, he is the goddamn Batman. So there is that.
Yeah.
Well, that's also the book. Let's not forget about it, where Wonder Woman is walking by someone and goes, out of the way, sperm bank.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I get it, because here's the thing about that. That's supposed to be from Batman's perspective. So it's like, that Batman, he would think that that's the way someone from an Amazonian island would think.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's really funny about that is that then you also factor in the how like she meets Superman and they just start making out.
After proclaiming how much they hate each other and like fighting like children.
Yeah,
that one, that's Superman Year One, where like they meet.
It's also that one.
Yeah, just immediately infatuated with him. It's like, okay, he didn't do anything. Anyway.
Well, it's like, but the other Wonder Woman portrayal that I loved was, and Dawson, you'll appreciate this, Dark Knight 3, The Master Race.
Yes.
I love where she's, my favorite image, she's fighting all the Kryptonians, and you see her son is strapped to her back with a big smile on his face as she's like cutting people up. He's like, yay, murder!
One of my favorite books, like unironically, I'll read that in one sitting all the time. I just love that book. And
it's such a good book.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman is just so freaking incredible in that. And that's a very underrated book.
It really is. It really is. But I'm going to pull that up. That's an image that needs to be shared because it's such a funny thing. I remember I never noticed the kid smiling until I was going through this for a podcast. But if you look at it, and by the way, the Kubert art at any point is fantastic. But
yeah,
look at the kid smiling. Oh my god, I just love that.
Man, Andy Kubert, like you said, is just he's incredible.
And then I love this where she sees Superman and then immediately like makeup as she's covered in blood.
Yeah, they just don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the other thing is I love where like she called up Batman and goes, "I just want to let you know the Kryptonians are attacking Themyscira," and the Superman just zooms off before she can finish. She's like, "See ya."
It's like, I'm gonna go protect my woman.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in that version.
Exactly. But yeah, it's like Wonder Woman is one of those characters that for some reason a lot of creators don't really get because they keep thinking that she is the like the Xena warrior princess like character, so they keep writing her more as the warrior and not necessarily as like the priority. And by Gandalf brings up, yeah, they canceled the Wonder Woman game, which it hurts, but here's the problem with that. The only work that was done on that game was that trailer. For the minute
That's
you don't
the
hear
only
any
work that was
that's
done.
the only work that was done because here's why, Dawson. So you know how they said they were using the Nemesis system? Well, most of the new people working on it were new people that didn't know the Nemesis system, and then they had to essentially retool the Nemesis system for their new code and everything like that. So that's what it was spent on, training these people how to like code this, and then to make it work with their new engine and everything like that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I did not hear that at all. That's insane.
Well, the minute you don't hear anything about a game for 3 years, then you know something's going on.
Unless it's Wolverine.
Yep. Unless it's Wolverine. That Wolverine game looks spectacular.
It does look freaking incredible.
Oh my gosh. Like they understood the assignment. They definitely understood the assignment.
If only I could afford a next-gen console. But oh well.
Yeah.
Still playing a PS2.
Yeah. I still have a backlog on my GameCube.
Hey,
oh,
that's a good way
there
to go,
you go.
That's a good way to go, though. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, I will say though, I've been fully enjoying Battlefield 6. I've been full. The campaign on that is spectacular. By the way, NJ says, "Hope we get a Wonder Woman animated series soon. It can be a massive change up." Yeah, because she needs that one big thing that can like make her more like, what's the word, like mainstream again. Because if you remember, that's what the first movie did. Like it really like made, because she was always like, I would say A- list, but that firmly established her as an A-list character. And then you got 1984, which didn't really help at all.
Yeah, 1984 was a bit of a letdown.
I always wonder.
Yeah, wasn't there going to be a Wonder Woman the animated series at some point, like after Justice League Unlimited? I think there were some other shows that were going to do, but that all just abruptly got cut for some reason.
And we're now up to 4 backers. Hell yeah!
Let's go.
But yeah, I think they were going to do it, but there was a lot of back and forth on what was going to happen. Like, did you know that? So I have a copy of Wizard Magazine, the JLA issue, and you know what's one of the things that they say? This is gonna make your all's day, and think about the alternate reality we were almost in. So it talks about why. Hang on, because it's all the JLA, and it says here. Trying to find this one article that here we go. It says it's basically talking about why there won't be a Justice League animated show. Because apparently they were having a lot of trouble with that stuff. And I go, and obviously this is before the Justice League show. And you know what's kind of funny about that on the Wonder Woman version? That show is responsible for so many people thinking that Wonder Woman has always been with Batman. Like romantically with Batman. And I'm like, they weren't even romantically engaged in that show at all. So I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, it's just for all the Wonder Bat shippers.
Don't even get me started with those people. Don't even get me started. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the thing about Wonder Woman that DC definitely needs to weigh in to like emphasize is the fact that yeah, she has endured for so long despite their best efforts because of all this. And it's like, particularly when you think about it, you would think that she wouldn't necessarily survive the hyper conservatization because it's like, her origins were, let's just say she may have started off as a BDSM thing for a certain Dr. Marston, but it's like the fact that she survived so long shows how like the potential of the character right there. By the way, so they came out around the same time as the Wonder Woman movie. They came out with a movie that's about Marston and like how he created Wonder Woman. That movie lies. Like, you know what it is? So here's what it does. It implies that the three of them, him, his mistress, and his wife, were in a polyamorous relationship. They were not.
If you will.
They were not.
No.
It turns out, so he was in a relationship with both of them, but they were not together. But a lot of people make that mistake. Which is kind of weird. But it's like, so I've commented on this before. The other problem that Wonder Woman has, you ever notice how too many people are focused on who she's dating?
Yeah. Actually, can I clear something up first?
Yeah, go ahead.
They try to claim that he's polyamorous with all three of them together in like this little throuple. No, it was polygamy, which is one guy with several different women.
Yeah,
or one with several different guys. So the correct term was there, and they had half of it.
Yeah, exactly. But let me go off of this. So Doss, I'll start with you. Why do you think Wonder Woman 1984 was such a step down? Because personally, for me, they took away like the grit of the character, because I think Patty said she was trying to make her version of like Superman 78, and I go, but you took away the good parts of the movie. It's like she even took away the sword and the shield.
There's that. I think that definitely was a bit of a detriment to it, because it kind of betrayed what that version of the character was without really giving an explanation as to why. But I think another thing too was there were just some technical things about that movie that just weren't really impressive. There were some, as much as I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, there were some line deliveries that she had that weren't really convincing. Obviously, we know the whole like the
Max Lord. Yeah.
Things like that. And then, you know, the obvious dummy that was used with the little kid when she's like rolling on the ground. And then just
Did Andre have that as a drop on the Four Nerds?
Yep, he did. He used that frequently. But also, like, for me, the color grading also kind of gave off sort of a cheap feel.
Justice League.
A bit, yeah. Whenever movies, especially in the superhero genre, try to evoke a sort of lighthearted feeling, now, oftentimes, you know, they can be successful, but a lot of the times they kind of go overboard and it makes it feel fake. It makes it feel oversaturated, or just feels like it's more of an enclosed set than actually present in a world. And I think Wonder Woman 1984 was very much guilty of that, at least for me. But that's very much a nitpicky thing from an artist's perspective. And you know, what's weird to me is that when I went and saw that movie, well, I guess it was on HBO Max was where I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters. But the thing that I probably liked the most about that movie was Kristen Wiig's performance.
Oh, yeah.
Not expect at all.
Except when she cosplayed as a character from Cats.
Yeah, there's that. That's a big problem with
that. They could have done the cheetah look so much better.
They really could have. But I fully expect it, because like there's a lot of things that Kristen Wiig does. Her humor doesn't necessarily work with me a lot of the time. So I went in expecting to not really like her version and just kind of look past it. But I was like, actually, I was really interested by it. So that's one positive thing that it did. And then Maxwell Lord, I mean, he was what he was. No real depth to him, really.
You know, that's not really who Max Lord is from the comics.
Yeah. And again, I think a lot of it just comes down to the tone they were trying to achieve and the overcompensation of how they went about trying to accomplish that tone, which again might sound a little pretentious saying it, but that's just the best way that I can describe how I felt watching that movie.
By the way, we got our first backer on the original art tier.
Hey, let's go.
There you go. Thank you to whoever that was. But do you think with Paramount buying WB, things will get better for Wonder Woman? Let's wait and see how it goes for the DC IP in general. It could, but let's wait and see what happens to DC first.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like I've abandoned just keeping track of who could buy who, what property could own whatever. It
happens so many times. It's like, Dawson, I feel like we just did this.
Yeah.
We kind of just did.
I mean, like when I was still like podcasting, like, regularly, I remember keeping track of all that. This company could do this. This company do that. And then I got to the point where I was just exhausted. Honestly, I'm kind of jaded when it comes to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few movies that I see commercials for them. Like, oh, I'm going to give that, my money and give it my time. Just because I think a lot of Hollywood is just a disgusting cesspool, but that's just me. But yeah, so regardless of which studio has it, there's going to be problems, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Call me pessimistic, but
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I had hope with Zaslav saying, "Hey, Wonder Woman is like the top, like DC is like one of the top DC characters," and then it's like, how long did it take for James Gunn to announce a Wonder Woman movie when like he's announcing like Clayface, practically a Metamorpho movie?
I mean, they had announced like the Paradise
Lost show.
It
wasn't even about Diana though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and also like Paradise Lost, like anyone who's been to college and has taken an English class immediately thinks of the Paradise Lost book they're forced to read.
And not only that, I read Paradise Lost. Diana and Donna play a very important part in that story. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, what are you doing? What I want to know is why do we have a Clayface movie announced when we don't even know anything about Batman?
That's true. That's true too. It's because James Gunn likes all the more obscure characters more. I mean, it's been very clear on that. That's why.
Why do they keep doing this? They did the same thing with the previous movie universe, and they did the same thing with their streaming service. I think that's a big reason why the DC Universe streaming service bombed. Like they had something amazing there, a streaming service that also includes comic books. This should be a slam dunk. Like that's a brilliant innovation.
I mean, we got Swamp Thing out of that. Like, Swamp Thing was really great.
Yeah, they should have come out swinging with like, bring us a new Superman show, bring us a new Batman show, maybe revive the DCAU. Finally, bring in.
They brought back Young Justice Wonder for that.
Yeah, bring in that new like Teen Titans season 6 that you kept dangling in front of us.
Well, and then when they did come out with a new Young Titans show, it didn't really. It wasn't good.
God.
It wasn't good.
It's like do you know what it's like? It's like we're Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar watching Anakin burn up. That's what it felt like watching all of those episodes.
What's sad about that is that, I watched it and really liked it. My wife was a huge fan of the Young Justice show, and we were very excited when they announced it. Yeah, it was very good. And when they announced it, my wife and I were like, oh, we're going to watch it together. It's going to be really fun. And we were watching it together, and we just kept looking at each other like, what the hell is this? What are they doing? And it was just one of those things where it's like we were so excited, and just did not deliver.
Well, speaking of delivering, to this day, my favorite episode is the one where Kid Flash has to get that heart to a hospital.
Yeah, that was.
I love that episode.
He keeps being interrupted.
That was pretty good. That was a good one.
My favorite is probably. I should. Go ahead, next.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think my favorite fact about the show is that they got Crispin Freeman in to play the clone, what was it, Red Arrow?
Yeah.
And I know Crispin Freeman from a whole bunch of anime, like Naruto and whatnot. Like, he's played some he is just absolute fantastic voice actor. But then they go and they kind of waste a great voice actor on some okay material.
Yeah, but it's like not only that, it's like when I'm watching it, it's what was the biggest whiplash for me. So they wanted us to believe that this was not taking place in their at the time DC AMU, the movie universe that's based on the New 52. They changed Wonder Woman's design to look exactly like the Wonder Woman design in the New 52 movies. So I'm like, if this is not in the same universe, what are you doing? And then here's the problem with the last season. Too much of it was devoted to BS arcs. Like, there's one where, like, the Green Lanterns go off on the planet to negotiate peace. So there's a peace on Aquaman. And I go, what does this have to do with the plot that you're trying to show me?
Filler.
Not
Very
only
filler.
that, I forget what her name is, but she's like, their one technically Muslim character is like a big affront to the Muslim religion. Like, she's not even really a person anymore. She's just a meat puppet being controlled by like technology, who decides to get into a lesbian relationship. And it's like, I don't know how you expect.
Well, not only that,
to get
Nix,
all of these fans, but
not only that, Nix. Remember when she's having an argument with like her ex-boyfriend, and then he says she's doing this, and then she goes, "No, they are doing this," and I'm like, "You literally, you this is the purpose of the scene." That's the problem. It went way too political, and I'm like, and I've done that before, but it's like not that fast, and it's like it just got boring. Real. And then the minute I hear them start saying we need to create a sanctuary for like heroes to get mental health stuff, and I go, I swear, if you renew this and do Heroes in Crisis, I will explode. I will explode because, well, at least Wally West is dead, so you don't have to character assassinate him like you did, like Tom King did. But oh my god, it's
Heroes in Crisis. We have to take the writer's ability license to write away. Nope,
Yeah,
it's revoked. Your writing card's been revoked. Get out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah, but like, even in that, there was barely any Wonder characters, and when they were there, they were just there. Like, Cassie's just there. I mean, Troya is kind of there as like an ambassador, and Diana's like barely there, but she still is like like one of the leaders of the league. So I guess there's that. But it's like there's barely any Wonder Woman. There's barely any Wonder Woman villains in that show. So I'm like, wow. Although again, there were some good parts of the show, but it's like, well, that's a odd choice. It's like, remember when they devoted an entire arc to Blue Beetle?
They had Brent Spiner in there as the Joker, like Data playing the Joker.
I wasn't a big fan of him as the Joker.
No, he doesn't have the right, I don't know, voice.
I'm going out on a high note. You see, you need to have that little psychopath frame of voice in order to properly do the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that. But it's like, yeah, I'm just like, that was kind of odd. But speaking of sassy Wonder Woman lines, one of my favorites is when she's fighting Steppenwolf in the Snyder Cut, and Steppenwolf's like, "This one is mine," and the Wonder Woman's like, "I belong to no one." Yeah. I'm like, yes, that is so good. And I guess that had to go or lost connection. But the other one is like when Superman first shows up, then she just goes, Kal-El.
Yeah, just is in awe that he's there.
Yeah, exactly. So, Nix, what's your favorite Wonder Woman like scene in like the movies, TV shows, what have you?
Honestly, I think, and we discussed this like last time we were talking about Harley Quinn, but the ice cream scene.
Yeah.
Like any version of it is just absolutely perfection, because it just encapsulates early Diana so well. Like, she's in this new world, she's getting to try a new food, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever!
Ice cream is the greatest thing." She points her sword at the guy. "You should be very pleased." And then the cook goes, "What?" and yes, it's based. Wonder Woman was an inspiration. Let me put it to that way. And I'll drop the link again in the chat so you guys can follow that.
Also,
again,
the baby scene in the Wonder Woman movie.
A baby! Or like where she's in the clothing store and she goes, "How is a woman supposed to fight like this?" Or like when she's walking out of the store and she still has the sword and the shield.
That was pretty good one. Because that movie, that did such a good job of balancing a lot of the lighthearted stuff, a lot with just the badassery that Wonder Woman is capable of. And that's why I love that movie so much.
Bro, the No Man's Land scene that got Gal Gadot filmed pregnant, by the way. But
yeah,
that WB wanted to cut.
One of the best scene of the entire movie. And then that's Warner Brothers for you.
That's the scene that everyone remembers that movie for. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Tisk Wonder WB.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, yeah, because in that scene, the dialogue, when they said this is no man's land, it means no man can cross it in the hands of a lesser writer. You know that someone would have had Wonder Woman go, well, I am no man. But no, she goes, no, that's what I'm going to do. And then she just, and the way it's framed, she's going up the ladder, the coat just falls off, all you see is the shield, and then she climbs up, and then she does the gauntlet thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's the other part where I was like, yeah, Wonder Woman's pretty damn cool. I really dug Wonder Woman.
Scene gave me chills. You're right, they could have gone with the I am no man route, which could have worked, if it was something like when they did in Lord of the Rings. But like,
yeah, but here's the problem with that.
In today's climate.
Yeah, in today's climate, it would have sounded very like hostile. Lug, how about you? What's your favorite piece of like Wonder Woman scene in like movies, TV shows, whatever you've seen?
Oh, is that what's going on? Some of my connection blipped out.
I figured.
Oh man.
Put you on the spot as soon as you get better internet connection.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it was. I'm not super familiar, but I guess it was pretty neat seeing in. I think it was Justice League Unlimited, seeing having to do just negotiator type stuff that you don't really see in other superheroes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a bit because she is like she is a diplomat, and by Gandalf says. The ending of that one episode of JLU where Diana gets turned to a pig and her humming the song Batman. Okay, I have a clip for that, sir. I have a clip for... you better believe I have this clip.
Batman doesn't do ships.
All right, so Dawson, I want to show you this. So this comes at a later issue of Absolute Wonder Woman. It's not a spoiler, but at one point, all the Absolute books had a fill-in artist.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, we get this. Interior art.
Holy crap.
Oh, what do you mean interior?
This is the book.
Dude, you're showing me a bunch of covers. Stop pulling my leg.
This is the book.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, look at that.
That's like Riccardo Federici level stuff.
Something like that. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm looking at this and I'm like, that could be a cover, though. That could 100% be a cover.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, God. Oh, and this particular artist, Matea de Ayus, I think his name is, he did 2 issues. The next issue, speaking of fantastic coloring, because this is what happened with this one. So she's fighting in an arena in hell, and this is kind of what
as one finds himself doing.
As one finds himself to do. So get a load of this.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's the use of red.
I know, right? Yeah, it's so good. Or it's like so. What they discovered with like Diana is like to fight a creature that when if it looks into your eyes, it kills you. She used magic to blind herself, and then she fought it blindfolded.
Shoot.
And I'm like, oh my God.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of the Absolute Wonder Woman is essentially that. But so let's see. My favorite moment of Wonder Woman media, not counting comics because that would take way too long, is probably I would say when the BVS scene where she first shows up to fight alongside Superman and Batman against Doomsday, because it's like I was thinking, how are they going to do the theme? Because I know Zack Snyder is really good at doing themes and entrances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly with Batman going, oh shit. It's like the Doomsday hits him. And then
that's one of the best comedic moments that Batman has ever had, in my opinion. And it was not like him telling a joke, it's just him genuinely being like, oh, I'm about to die.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, and then it's like,
died.
and I'm like, what the wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great entrance. And like you mentioned before, her clear excitement of being in battle for the first time in a long time, and just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Man,
and by the way, that was improv by Gal Gadot. The smile was not in the script. She just figured, oh shit, I wanted to be a little feisty, and I go, yep, you get Diana. I also love the scream she belts out as she charges, and I'm like, oh my god, that is terrifying in the best way possible. I'm like,
yes. Probably I'd say there's that, and then there's the moment in the Wonder Woman movie where she's fighting soldiers like in the tower in that town that that little condensed fight scene where she's just kicking people out of the tower left and right, just destroying it. Oh man, super cool.
You mean like
Hereby
this?
complete the mission of the Amazons by ridding this world of you forever.
Whose face was that on?
That was the daughter of Wonder Woman that Tom King invented, but everyone hates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made a bunch of those. Like I even have this. Or my personal favorite.
Excuse me. But I think this is yours.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, something, since you brought up that clip, there is something kind of interesting that, well, not interesting, but something, a little detail in that episode that I really like about Diana. When they're fighting Mongol. She only gets super upset when he basically starts to like, oh, you think you know him, but really your Superman is probably dreaming about ruling the universe. He's probably a despot. He just hides it really well. And she gets so actually genuinely angry that she picks up the biggest gun she can get her hands on and blasts him. And I really like that. It fits Diana's character really well. She's very protective of the people she cares about.
Yeah, and the funny part about it, I have the Superman comic. That episode is a straight adaptation of it's for the man who has everything.
Yeah.
What they censored because this was a kid's show is after one Mongol says you should go with the other weapon. It's more of a woman's gun. She goes, "Go to hell," and then just blasts him with the big gun. Oh, my other thing is like, speaking of that episode, my other favorite part is like when Superman wakes up and then he's like beating the ever-loving shit out of Mongol. He goes, "Do you have any idea what you did to me?" And then where he goes like, where Mongol goes, "Happy birthday, Kryptonian! I give you oblivion." Then Superman goes, "Burn!" and then just heat visions him, and I'm like, oh my! I like when Superman can like be scary at times.
Yes.
But I mean, if I'm talking about my favorite Superman moment of all time in any medium, it's this.
Not impressed.
The comedic line at the end. And by NJ says the favorite Wonder Woman is in the DC AMU when she punched Darkseid through multiple skyscrapers, or where she's speaking of sassy Diana when she's fighting Darkseid and goes, "Come on, giant, I'm getting bored." Like, yeah.
Another good one in that Justice League episode when Mongol's got her and she's like unconscious, or like she's pretending to be. And he's gloating, and she goes, "Lower life forms call it plague, possum," and just decks him. I'm like, yeah, that's my girl.
Yep, there you go. That's Diana for you. That's Diana for you. But yeah, so that's I think, let's see, our 18. Let's go for 10 more minutes. But I guess we'll go around and talk about like in general, like general thoughts and stuff, and what DC projects we're excited for, because I wanna be excited for Lanterns. I need to see more of that because all I've seen is like two dudes just walking down a road, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but where's the Green Lantern stuff? I'm like, I kind of want are you using practical suits and stuff? So there's that, and obviously the Wonder Woman projects are like the parts that really interest me, but I'll go to Lug. What upcoming DC projects are you excited for?
Oh,
I love that. Oh,
been a bit slow lately.
It's all good. It's all good.
I don't know. I decided to go and see Superman again last night.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, that is one of the that has got to be one of the most hopeful movies in years I've seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, that works. That
It was
works.
oddly relatable.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Nix?
Gosh, I don't think I've been very excited for like any DC property in a long time.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
I'm kind of just clinging on to the hope that someday we'll get like a better Wonder Woman movie than 84.
We have 6 backers. Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Dawson, how about you?
I mean, there are some books that I'm, looking forward to. I've been collecting Batman Hush 2 just because Jim Lee back on the art for it.
Yeah.
Obviously. Eventually going to get back on collecting more of Absolute Superman because I did really enjoy a lot of that.
I love that series, bro. It's so good.
But outside of that, I've been more so focusing on a lot of like independent stuff lately, just because I feel like a lot of great artists are going independent nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably Batman Hush 2. And then I know I have some DC books that my wife has already gotten for me for this coming Christmas that are just in our basement somewhere. I say somewhere, I know exactly where they are. I'm just not allowed to have them yet.
You're sneaking down there with tape, trying to like open it and then cover your tracks with tape.
Well, it's funny because like I know what they are.
Okay.
Because like Amazon had this massive like sale on books back in like June or something like that. And I just sent her like several links, and then I saw the amount of packages that came in the mail. I was like, okay, I know which one she got. So, yeah. Anyway,
but I don't know. We'll see what happens in terms of like DC stuff that I think would be that I think looks interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be quite an interesting like a couple of months as we wait to see what's going on with DC. Because that's the other thing. Speaking of like DC being sold, it's like it's really hard to get excited for DC studio stuff when if Warner Brothers is sold and the new regime wants to go in a different direction, all of a sudden we're dealing with another reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why should I really care?
Yeah, and the more reboots that happen, the less, like you said, less excited one gets for things because you just know, like, oh well, might just get rebooted soon, anyways. Yeah, definitely frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. But at the very least, yeah, there is like a lot to be excited for in terms of comics and that type of stuff. To Dawson's point, with like the Absolute stuff is freaking incredible. It's like all the Absolute books are great. So, well, Wonder Woman being the best, obviously, Batman being the most batshit crazy. Let's face it. It's like again, Batman punts a kid.
I'm never gonna get over that.
I absolutely love that.
I have to share that
Just
page
in time
again.
for Throwing Short People Day.
Oh yeah!
Look!
All right, who's the shortest? Does that mean we have to toss Nix?
No!
I got this one.
I got this one. All right, hang on. I gotta share the page of Absolute Batman punting a kid. It's like that. If I ever do, when I cover that series, that's gonna be the title. Batman punts a child. That is going to be like the best. Hang on. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Here's him drop kicking the kid, and the guy goes, "I'm just a kid." Here.
I don't give an F.
Oh my gosh! And I love the other person goes, "Kiddo, are you out there?" Oh, and then just runs and jumps off the boat. Oh my god! Just the kid flying.
I mean, I can only imagine how fun that was to draw that panel with him kicking specifically. And
Yeah, just cue the moon theme.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the artist just knowing like what's happening, yeah.
And then NJ says, "Do you think it's for the best for DC to fully buy the Wonder Woman rights from the Marston estate?" No, because with the estate thing, they have a little bit more control over the movies and games and stuff. That's why it's rare that we get like Wonder Woman stuff, because all pitches except for comics have to go through them. But it's like it helps and the other part of the Marston contract is that DC contractually has to publish Wonder Woman comics at certain intervals per the year, so it keeps Wonder Woman from being canceled, because likely it would have gotten canceled a long time ago had this contract not existed. So I still say no. But yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. So I think we'll wrap it up. So a final tally so far, we have 6 backers, and we've raised $155. Hell yeah, that's a good start for the night. So Dawson, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming out.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at DJ32Art or DJW32Art, and you can find me on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. My profile there is at NIMW32, and TikTok you can just find DJ Weidrich, and I have a lot of different followers on both that and Instagram, and including this book obviously launching and getting the Kickstarter out there. I'm going to be posting about it a lot, make sure people know to fund it. But I'm also currently working on my own book that I wrote the script for, that I'm doing the pencils and inks for, and that Dan Kemp is going to be coloring for me when we get to that point. Very much hard at work on that. In fact, I'm going to get back to work on that once I'm off here. But other than that, commission work, and anyone out there who likes custom sketch covers, I do a lot of that. And that's a big part of my income. So, but as always, I appreciate having me on here, man. I'm very, very excited to see copies of this book in my hand in person and to share them with people at conventions. It's going to be a blast. And plus, I have a show in 2 weeks in Topeka, I think, in Kansas. And I'm going to have flyers to advertise for this Kickstarter as well. So very, very exciting stuff. Thanks again.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Next, how about you?
You can find me. You can find me on X at Batty Girl Nix. I went through a rebrand a long time ago. Yeah, and I've got a video game that I'm making, an RPG about a depressed ex-knight who's getting back into action for one last job.
So it's an autobiographical piece.
I'm not an old man.
I'm only kidding. But yeah, definitely follow her. She does great stream work, and definitely follow Dawson. Does great art. Lug, how about you?
He's gone.
He's gone. He's vanished. Lug, are you there? Testing.
Probably bad internet connection again.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I think I'll play the trailer again. So let's go with that. So where is the... Okay, here we go.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Centragon, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
Hell yeah.
That's beautiful.
It really is. It really is. And then as for me, you can find me obviously at Comics League. I sure hope you guys know where to find me. But I'll be on a bunch of shows this week to shill Athena throughout the week. And Lug is okay. I see a green square.
Why is that there?
I have no idea. But anyway, where can we find you, Lug, and what have you got coming out?
A green square, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
You okay, Lug?
I'm just a square.
Don't be a square, Lug. Don't be a square. But anyway, so yeah, what have you got coming out, man?
Well, I guess typically I do try to stream do game streams on Twitch with having my Sunday service of Doom and weekly Wednesday, and what do I call it? Like weekly I don't know, weekly Wednesday community wildcard. So yeah, I just finally cleared the biggest, most ambitious Doom megawatt I've ever played. I do that on Sundays. That was Wolfenstein Blade of Agony. I'll be starting up back to Saturn X for the next one. But tomorrow, I'm still picking up on Riviera, the Promised Land. And I'm also in the process of trying to get a comic book series of my own, kind of a shonen-esque kind of thing.
Nice.
And I'm seeing what else things can take me. It's like I have some interest in game dev and screenwriting. I want to see where that goes too.
Heck yeah. But anyway, so stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane sucks, and we will see. You know me, Dawson. But happy 83rd birthday to Wonder Woman, and go back Athena. The link is in the description. See you guys later. Bye-bye.